Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. This is our Junior Bears Leadership information session. My name is Haley McLean, and I'm principal here at Georgian Bay District Secondary School. And with me tonight, I have Andrew Walker, who is one of the teachers at Georgian Bay District Secondary School, and for the last few years has been the teacher who has run our Junior Bears information session. So I'm going to the presentation that will hopefully answer any questions that you have. And at one point during the presentation, we actually have some current Junior Bears that we'll hear from as well. So that's exciting as well. So I'll hand it over.
Great. Well, thanks for being here, everybody. Again, my name is Andrew Walker, and I'm one of the teachers of the Junior Bears program. This has been our third year running it. I'm just excited to share about that, about the experience with you and your children this evening. So I'll tell you a little bit about the course. Well, I guess I'll tell you a little bit about myself first. So I've been at GBD for the past 5 or 6 years. I can't remember. Ms. McLean, you might be able to remember that, but I can't. But so I graduated from visual arts from the University of Western Ontario. I'm one of our art teachers at the school, and I'm also a musician as well. I help with music around the school. I also helped lead in a previous role. I was music director at a church years ago, and I also was head of our leadership development program at Connexus Church, coaching high school students the year after they graduated in leadership and helping them apply this to organizations in nonprofit sectors. And also, I'm a father, I'm a husband. I have two daughters, Emma and Leah, who are students, high school students as well. They attend at Bear Creek. I live in Barrie. But we were also competed in the SCDSB Idol a few years ago, and that was a music competition, and my daughters beat me, so they still hold that over my head to this day. But I've been running the program for the past 3 years. Adam Podolsky was one of our teachers this year. We had a great group of students, and it's just been a great experience being the teacher of this leadership program. We can go to our next slide. So I think the greatest thing about our leadership program, our Junior Bears leadership program, is just an opportunity for students to really have some hands-on experience in the school before they get to the school. So they learn more about high school. They learn more about the building itself, which has been huge. They kind of feel at home when they get here. I've heard that from lots of students. They work to become leaders in the community, so they connect with community members, leaders within our community. They gain a high school credit, so they're already ahead of the game when they get to school. And they make new friends so that when they get to school in the fall, it's not as daunting. They have some familiar faces. They also meet some staff, so they have, there's some caring adults in their life already before they get to the school. How it'll work, Ms. McLean, do you want to talk about kind of attendance and the credits and so on?
Sure. Yeah, so this year we've went through and we've selected 2 different Saturdays throughout the year for the course. So October 5th will be our kickoff date, and then February 22nd will be an additional Saturday that we will hold. The course will culminate on June 7th, which is the Butter Tart Festival. We typically have the students in a booth, and they share some of the projects that they've created with community partners. Beyond that, most of the sessions, as noted here, will run on Thursday evenings, and they run from October the 10th to June 4th, and that's from 4:30 until 7:30 in the evening. The Ministry of Education has fairly strict standards in terms of how many hours a course needs to be in terms of meeting those mandates. So courses here in Ontario need to be 110 hours in duration, and only a small portion of that can be kind of homework. So that kind of outlines the dates. You will see when you look at the dates that we've tried to avoid Thursdays kind of before holidays, or even Thursdays before like a PA day, just because we know that families sometimes like to get away on a little mini vacation. So we're trying to kind of respect that. But it is, for the most part, most Thursdays throughout the course of the school year.
Great, thank you.
Over to
I'll talk a little bit about the course itself in terms of the credit. So the course itself is an interdisciplinary studies credit. It is a grade 11 credit that students will be receiving, which is pretty cool. They get a grade 11 credit before they even are in grade 9. So pretty exciting that way. The course will help students combine skills and knowledge of different subjects. We are going to have a primary focus on leadership in this course. That is a big kind of portion of this. So they'll analyze connections among diverse subjects, disciplines. They'll be growing in their literacy skills, analyzing themselves as well. So there's a big portion of that is who am I as a leader, and kind of analyzing basically their own wiring and how they can contribute to leadership in the school and in the community as well. And they'll also be kind of analyzing their own learning styles and be given real life situations to navigate. So they'll be actually working with partners in the community and working through different projects. We can go to our next slide. So just kind of a scope of what the course looks like, our different units within the course. So we start off with who am I? So really students learning about who they are, their identity, who they are as learners, who they are as leaders. They'll come to know what kind of leader they are. We'll look at successful leaders. So what makes an effective leader, and we'll kind of learn from leaders that have gone before us and also leaders within our community. We'll learn about how to be equitable leaders. So we'll have different voices coming into the classroom. We had in our course this year, we had a member from our Indigenous community come in and teach leadership from a Indigenous perspective, but also in leading on a drum. And so it was an interesting experience for students to be able to see leadership from different perspectives. And then our final kind of culminating project is going to be working with community partners within Midland Penetang area. So some examples of that is this year we worked with Quest Art Gallery, where students were able to help facilitate our exhibition for the High Art exhibition for the school. We're also this week, actually tomorrow night, we're working with the Wellness Hub. Our Junior Bears are finishing their project, kicking off Pride Week with kind of a Pride party in collaboration with Dairy Queen, where they'll be in the community, meeting other students in the community and promoting the Wellness Hub. So those are some of the opportunities that our students will have. On a typical night, generally, when students arrive, we have some kind of an icebreaker team building activity, so students will get to know each other. We usually do some kind of fun games, fun opportunities for students to get to know each other. So this is kind of just an example of that. We had our students led by some of our leadership students in an obstacle course where they were kind of blindfolded. And then they work their way through this obstacle course. And then we would follow up with some discussions about, what made this activity difficult, what worked well. The whole point of it was communication. So how did you communicate with your team? So students would have to guide their teammates through this obstacle course while they're blindfolded, just using their language. So that was that'd be an example of a warm-up or minds-on activity. And then our next slide, students would learn about different communication styles. So we talked about aggressive communication, passive aggressive, passive communication, and then kind of the ultimate goal is to have assertive communication. So students got into groups and worked out different scenarios, creating these different skits and perform them to the class, which was a lot of fun. And then we would consolidate and talk and kind of break down those scenarios where students would learn these different communication styles and kind of see where their strengths are and see where some of their next steps for growth lay. And then our culminating projects, as I mentioned, we're working with community partners within the area. So we've worked with the Midland Cultural Center, Quest Art Gallery, the Town of Penetang, North Simcoe Youth Wellness Hub, the Midland Public Library. We had a fantastic project with them where we did politics and pizza, where students from the high school were invited to have a discussion with politicians from the municipal level, provincial level, and it was really exciting to see kind of some of the questions that they had for these members of parliament, and they got free pizza. It was a great event, and our Junior Bears helped organize that with Midland Public Library, and then the Wymarsh Wildlife Center is another one of our partners that we've partnered with in the past. So it's just a great opportunity for these students. Yeah, here's a sample of one of the projects where students opened up, helped plan the grand opening of a new youth space at the library called the Vault. There you can see the cutting of the ribbon with the mayor at the time, and so some real hands-on leadership experience, and also kind of being mentored by these community leaders within our area. Some tips for success. So always ask students to come prepared. So bring a pen, a binder, a device if you have one. So if you have a Chromebook, to bring that to the school. We do have some that they can use, but it's a lot easier if students can bring their own. Participation is huge. So just if any students are listening in tonight, pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, right? Being open and positive, being willing to take on something new that maybe make you a little uncomfortable. But I find at the end, we'll talk to a couple of Junior Bears tonight. Kate and Violet are standing by. We'll talk to them about some of their learnings from this, but I'm sure they can kind of speak into this as well, just stepping out of your comfort zone. You'll bring dinner. We have microwaves available. Bring dinner and a water bottle. There's a couple of events we have where I order in pizza, but mostly you're providing your own dinner. Keep track of important dates. Okay, so use an agenda, use a calendar. There'll be some important dates that you will need to remember. And then keep lines of communication open with myself, and if we have another section, with that teacher. As Ms. McLean mentioned, we expect you to be present. If you are going to be away, communicating that ahead of time is key. And if we see kind of a pattern of absences, that could be a problem. But normally, if you communicate it ahead of time, we can work through those issues. So advice from last year's Junior Bears students. Here's a quote from one of our students from last year. Complete the coursework, make an effort to meet new people, have fun. Don't be afraid of it or intimidated, get involved, and just be yourself. But better than this, we have two Junior Bears from this year. Kate and Violet are here and I've asked them to there they are, hey guys. I've asked them to kind of share some of their experience with us. So we're going to do kind of like a little mini interview here with them.
Great.
Violet and Kate, how are you doing?
Good.
Good.
How are you, Mr. Walker?
Pardon me?
How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for asking. Look at this.
Incredible.
You guys are such great leaders already asking me how I'm doing. All right, so I've got a question for you, Kate. What would you say is one thing you learned about yourself as a leader this past year in Junior Bears?
Well, in this course, you get to learn a lot about yourself, as you mentioned during some of the things you learn. But one of the things that I found most helpful that I learned about myself as a leader is that I'm really good at getting people like into conversation, making it not feel awkward, so everybody can speak their mind, and so that whatever you're doing is with the whole group and not just one person.
Fantastic. So helping getting people to bring the best out of people. That's fantastic. Awesome. Thanks for that, Kate. Violet, why would you recommend Junior Bears to future students?
I would recommend it because it's a great way to meet kids from other schools in your area and to get to know like the high school teachers and your way around the school.
Excellent. Awesome. Fantastic. Okay, so I've got a question now for both of you. What would you say is the best part of the Junior Bears program?
Other than obviously Mr. Walker, just as Violet said, meeting everybody, that's really helped me feel more comfortable with going into high school. I know a lot of other students that I wouldn't know otherwise, which is really great.
Fantastic. Thanks.
Yeah, I agree with Kate. Like, it's a great way to meet new friends and to like put yourself out there a bit more and learn things about you and other kids.
Awesome. Very good.
Your credit.
Oh yeah, you get a free credit too.
I mean, there's an added bonus right there. Exactly right. No, fantastic. Yeah. And you were both fantastic leaders. Again, as you mentioned, helping people, break down that awkwardness, networking with other students, bringing them in. You both, I would say, did a fantastic job with that. So I'm proud of having you in my class this year. So thanks so much for sharing with us tonight, and looking forward to seeing you in the building next year. All right. Thanks. All right. If we can go to our next slide, that'd be great. Okay, here's some parent and guardian feedback that we had. 100% of parents, guardians agreed that Junior Bears course helped their child to feel more comfortable about going to secondary school next year and help their child meet new people and make new friends. Absolutely. I don't know how many times in September when I've had past Junior Bears walk through the doors. They're like, "Hey, Mr. Walker," and "Hey, Ms. Main," and they know our a bunch of our teachers. They've got friends already that they're ready to meet, which really breaks down kind of that anxiety of coming to school. 86% of parents and guardians agreed that Junior Bears course helped their child enhance their leadership skills. I hope so. I think a big part of that is students learning about who they are and what they have to, their strengths and what they have to offer as leaders and as learners as well. That was huge. Some other quotes. It's the first time my kid was excited to go to school and that I've seen him enjoy it. Fantastic. It's definitely a fun experience. And I've heard that from so many Junior Bears that they had a good time. We do have a good time, as much as we do have some coursework to complete. There's a lot of opportunities to have fun together. So, and explore that. Learning can be fun. So last quote, "My child had a wonderful experience taking this course. It prepped her well for high school in September, increasing her comfort level. It was a great self-discovery, owning in on leadership skills and presenting skills." Yes, there is a big portion of presenting and public communication. There's a focus on that as well. I know that makes some students nervous, but we really help you along the way. get to that point where you're ready to speak in front of your peers. So that is a portion of it. Even for some of the quieter students, there's an opportunity for them to be who they are as leaders, more introverted students. I am an introvert myself, so there's opportunities for all personalities to be leaders in this program. All right, attendance. We kind of talked a little bit about this, but Ms. McLean, if you're there, if you want to speak into this a little bit.
Yeah. So obviously we understand that illness occurs. And if it does, we would just ask that you're communicating with the classroom teacher via email or telephone. The important part to kind of really keep in mind with Junior Bears is that regular absences. So for example, you'll see an example there, missing every Thursday evening in the month of May due to a baseball game, that would result in removal from the course because you can only miss a certain amount of time in the course. As I said prior, there are a mandatory number of hours, and we have a little bit of leeway with a bit of those hours, but not a great deal of leeway. So it is important that you have regular attendance within the program.
Great. And I would, on top of that, I would say we have our kickoff Saturdays where we expect every student to attend because that's a big portion of the hours. So to miss one of those Saturdays, it's something, if you think it's going to be an issue, definitely communicate with us, but it's definitely something that we need every student to be present for. So if you want to explore more, if you think it's something that you're interested in, if you want to visit the website here, you can see the schedule here, October through to June. There's the course Saturdays on there, October 5th, February 22nd, and June 7th, which is the Butter Tart Festival. All of those are mandatory, and then you can see the Thursday dates there. But if you're interested in more information, definitely check out the website and register. We seem to register pretty quickly, so make sure that you take a look at it and jump on the opportunity as quickly as you can because it does fill up fast. If you have any questions tonight, feel free to scan the QR code there or type in the bit.ly link there and ask some questions. We're happy to answer some questions, have a little Q&A at this point. If after the presentation, if you have any other questions, feel free to email me. I think my email was on there. I think it's just covered up at the moment, but it's awalker@simcoe-county-district-school-board.on.ca. So there's 2 W's in there. Make sure you put the 2 W's in there, or a teacher from Bear Creek will get your email. If you have any questions tonight, we're happy to answer those. If you want to type in that link, scan the QR code. Let us know if you have any questions. All you need is to do in the bit.ly link is click on that little pink button with the addition sign and just add your question. I'll give you a moment to do that.
Andrew, you did a couple of field trips this year. Maybe you could share about them while we wait to see if there's any questions.
Yeah, so we visited a few of our partners. So earlier in the fall, we took a little walk to Quest Art Gallery, which is downtown Midland in the Midland Cultural Center, if you haven't been there before, where we are able to connect with an organization in the community that is really important, keeping art alive and creative culture alive in our city, fully funded by donations. So we connected with them, and Lawrence Segar, the executive director there, he walked us through a creative activity. Students were able to create this painting at the time. So we had this fun creative activity, and then hear a little bit about kind of the mission of the gallery and what they do, how important they are in the community. And then at the end of the semester, we were actually able to partner with them for our art show and help raise funds for Quest Art, which is pretty exciting. We also got to go visit another one of our community partners, Y Marsh. So we went on kind of a nature walk at Y Marsh, got to hear a little bit of some of the opportunities there. Actually, one of our junior bears this year has applied to be a CIT, so a counselor in training at the Y Marsh. So that's pretty exciting. I wrote a reference letter for them. So there's lots of opportunities within our partnerships for students to volunteer. That's actually another great talking point is your student can volunteer right after they graduate grade 8 in the summer. They can start earning volunteer hours. They need 40 hours to graduate high school. So it's a fantastic opportunity, the Junior Bears program, because they get connected with community partners and basically they could probably accomplish most of their hours before they hit high school, which is huge. I've got grade 12s begging me to volunteer for things this year. I had one this week. I need to have my hours in by Thursday. What can I do for you? Not a great place to be in. So to be able to have your volunteer hours done ahead of time, you get a credit, also get your volunteer hours before you even hit high school. Pretty cool. So there's lots of opportunities that way. We've visited the library as well. We did some like a scavenger hunt at Little Lake Park on one of our Saturdays. So lots of fun things happening, lots of great experiences for your student. Doesn't look like we have any questions at this point. I want to say thank you so much for joining us. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me. You can call the school, ask for Mr. Walker or Ms. McLean. We're happy to answer any questions you might have. If it's something that you think you're interested in, make sure that you register as soon as possible, because it fills up quickly. Ms. McLean, is there anything else you'd like to add tonight?
No, I think you covered it. I think we're at current time, we're about half full. So we're getting there.
Yeah, we're getting there for sure. Kate and Violet, thanks so much for being with us tonight. If you're still there, we appreciate your leadership and all you brought to the program. And we're looking forward to seeing you next year in our building.
Bye.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great night.
Thanks.
Join the course.
Yep.
Here we go. All right.